I see it as another evolution. We've moved from the point where there was no formal market, and currently we have a formal market, stronger markets. Put together all the markets in Africa, the stock exchanges, they have market cap exceeding 1.5 trillion USD.
Okay.
That's exciting.
Hello, and welcome to the Great Return Podcast, a podcast focusing on wealth creation and African development for and by people of African heritage, both at home and abroad. Today, we are discussing what diasporans need to know about investing in the African financial markets. And to do that, we have with us Nana Adjei from Blackstar brokerage. Welcome, Nana.
Thank you, Lottie. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we are very pleased to have you today. So today we want to discuss the African financial markets with you. Before we do that, I'd like you to introduce yourself to the audience and also a little bit about your company. We will be talking a bit more about it in the end as well. So just enough for people to understand.
Sure. So I'm easily called Nana Adjei because my name is a longer one.
Okay.
But officially, I'm Nana Adjei Opoko-Ajiman, and I'm an investment banker with almost 2 decades experience.
Okay.
And I'm a locally brewed talent, but in all modesty, we work within Ghana, across Africa, and across the globe.
Okay.
The firm I represent is Blackstar. It's an investment banking business. We have a brokerage subsidiary as well as an asset management subsidiary.
Okay.
And what we are doing, the ambitious work we are doing is to try and distinguish between the typical products from solutions. So we always want to position ourselves that we are not the ones providing rigid products and services, but provide solutions. So anything across global market execution, wealth management and planning, as well as investment banking, raising of capital, advisory and all that. So those are the things that I have been doing throughout my career.
Okay.
And this is what we've been doing at Blackstar as well.
Okay. So we will kick off by looking at if you can give us an overview of the African financial markets in terms of where it is at the moment and also the growth and development it has seen over the past few years.
Sure. Yeah, so the story of the African financial market is no different from the broader African story.
Okay.
And I see it as another evolution. We've moved from the point where there was no formal market, and currently we have a formal market, stronger markets. Put together all the markets in Africa, the stock exchanges, they have market cap exceeding 1.5 trillion USD.
Okay.
That's exciting, but the only thing is close to 70 or more than 70% of this is in South Africa. But
I see.
yes, so you have about 1.2 trillion of the market cap being coming from South Africa.
Right.
Not a problem. The rest is fairly distributed. Morocco, Egypt, Kenya, Nigeria, Ghana, and the West African, French West African countries.
Okay.
And these markets have been providing the same products you get from any other developed market. Talk of your equities, talk of your fixed income, both sovereign and corporate ones. They are also ETFs as well as derivatives. So all the flashy things you can talk about in African market, global financial markets, you have the same going through in Ghanaian markets as well. So it's really grown, and I think the future is so big.
Yeah.
Our market.
Yeah. So before we, I suppose the where we are, you're saying South Africa carries
Sure.
the biggest percentage. So obviously the rest of Africa has a way to go. Before we sort of look at some of those challenges, why do we think the financial markets are important when it comes to African development?
Sure. Yes, it's quite key because it offers you the platform, and theoretically, financial markets is a platform that will channel entities, and my reference to entities here are individuals and corporates and sovereigns. So it's the platform that provide those with surplus financial resources get connected to those with deficits so that you have a match for them. So it is very key. And these financial resources are what goes to finance government activities. So talk of all the roads, talk of any social investment that is being done by governments are through this. Through the same financial markets, this is how corporates raise money to do their business, be it healthcare, be it agribusiness, be it technology, and all that. So to make it simple, financial market drives development, and in Africa, it is no different.
Okay.
The markets drive our development and growth.
Okay. So let's look at some of the challenges that the African markets face.
Sure. Yes, there are challenges, and I think that these are challenges we don't shy away from. But the very typical one is what we call liquidity. And not to sound very technical, liquidity is if I own a financial asset, let's say if I have some treasury bills or bonds, the liquidity is the ease with which I can convert these into cash when I need to.
Yeah.
It's a greater problem in our market, not because maybe we don't have the products. I think these are driven by fundamental issues. And one of the other challenges that I would like to tie into the liquidity is how the people within our continent, the level of financial literacy.
Right.
Because if the person has no knowledge of it, why would they? There are people who even buy financial assets and they think that they are keeping it for life. However, if the person is aware that once you have this asset, you can sell it when you need, or even if you don't want to sell it, there are other liquidity solutions of you using your asset to get capital or get cash and return it later on. So the literacy issue is one major thing. Then the key thing is because Africa is very much fragmented, because you talk of almost 50 something territories or countries with almost the same amount of currencies. So it makes it difficult to do cross-border transaction and settlement. So these three are the major challenges. There are other ones, but I think the key ones are the liquidity, the level of financial literacy, and the fragmentation, which results in difficulty in settlements and cross-border payments and transactions.
Yeah. So with all that we've said so far, could you maybe highlight why, for instance, South Africa has managed to get 70% of the market?
Sure.
What are they doing better? And also the rest of the continent, what are they not doing so well? And overall, in terms of Africa itself, what are we not doing well enough to be able to get a lot more of the financial markets?
That's a great question. I think it's bigger than my mind, but I think the little I know which South Africa has done right that the rest of Africa should pick it. I think the entity South Africa was presented and made conducive for financial markets, for capital flow. And what do I mean? South Africa, like any other African country, has the resources that all others have.
Yes.
So you have, even when you talk about farming, they have major plantation and all that. They don't do it in the smaller, informal ways that we do it largely in Africa. So once the businesses are organized, it shouldn't necessarily be owned by one person, but once it's organized and formalized, it will attract investment. And once it's attracting investment, these are formal transactions. It gets channeled through the financial sector. That is one key thing. I think the other thing is the state or the jurisdiction that owns the resources. South Africa has all other resources that you can get in Africa. I think they have managed theirs well. And at a very formal level, they've had their own challenges, but I think there's good collaboration. We can't shy away from the history of South Africa and all that. But I think there was reasoning in believing that there's strength in partnership. That's why you have a whole lot of global giants setting up in South Africa. And I think net, there's a lot of benefits to South Africa and by extension, Africa.
So from what you're saying, I'm picking up that it is sort of the level of organization, which can be key. So it's not necessarily, like you say, one person owning a big thing, but how people are able to organize themselves into a more formal, collaborative unit. So for us, because what we do is sort of, I don't want to use the word preaching, but we are encouraging diasporans to invest here on the continent. I think the key thing I want to pull out of what we've discussed so far is the fact that we need to still be looking at that collaboration. And we don't have to go the capitalist way of, big giant corporations that sometimes belong to one individual. But we need to look at how do we organize ourselves as formal units in a way to be able to push some of these things. Okay, so what do you think will be some of the major developments that takes place over the next few years when it comes to the financial markets in Africa?
Sure. Another great question. And, the way the world is moving now, it's becoming a lot more faster and scary than it used to be even 10 years ago. Now, it will not be smart on the part of anybody to think that in the next few months or few days, AI is going to dominate our markets. And there's this interesting research from African Development Bank. I deliberately wanted to refer to their research because of our context. And they are saying that in the next 10 years, by 2035, AI is going to add on about 100 trillion to the African GDP. And out of this, 8% will be in finance. So this alone should give you a fair idea, the kind of push and the drive that African financial markets are going to get. There's another key thing, integration. And integration, it's, for me, the key to Africa's problems because we have all the advantages. How do you have it unlocked? You do that through integration. And to be fair to players in the market, there are projects that are going on with respect to integration. There's a project called African Exchange Linkages Program. It is more or less all the stock African markets trying to integrate because it's a project. It started from some few exchanges. I'm happy to say that Ghana Stock Exchange is one of them. Blackstar is also
Okay.
privileged to be one of them. But to the key point, in the next few years, integration is going to be a key factor. So that if you are sitting in Ghana, if you are in Atlanta, wherever you are, it's easier for you to take up investment in Kenya, take up buy into a company in Dar es Salaam or a Dangote or
Okay.
so integration, AI, these are two key things that in the next few years I expect that will be. The other great thing, which if we all work at it will be great, is still technology driven. It's, you know, lately the easiest touch point for every adult or every person capable of using financial system is the mobile phone and
Yes.
other devices.
Yeah.
So through the deployment of solutions like apps, mobile technologies and all that, these things are going to make the African market a lot more accessible
Yes.
to people. And I love your introduction, people at home and outside home.
Yes.
So just not to sound repetitive, AI integration and deployment of mobile solutions.
Okay.
And if you put all these three together,
Yeah.
it's driven by technology.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is a very important point to note, especially for us diasporans as well. I think often speaking to people is, number one, where do you even go find these things?
Sure.
And things like that, making it easily accessible wherever you are,
Yes.
can greatly help. Okay, so for our next session, we're going to look at opportunities available to invest in the African financial markets. What makes investing in the African financial markets attractive, both to people at home and especially to diasporans as well?
Sure. So if you are investing in our markets, and maybe this is something we don't talk a lot more about, let's even talk about the metrics, the key ones. Somebody will say the very tangible ones. The real return or the risk adjusted returns you get from African markets beats what you get from developed markets.
Really?
You can pull data and all that. Because I use South Africa, some people may raise issues about your liquidity or market size, but at least South Africa is sitting on a 1.2 trillion USD market cap.
Yeah.
And that market over a 10-year period will give you an average of 7 to 8% risk adjusted return, as against you getting 3 to 4% from that. So for an investor, and it's natural, everybody will want to get great return from
Best they can.
little input.
Yes.
So even on that point, Africa gives you a better option.
Return.
Again, if you are an investor, you need to be religious with diversification.
Okay.
So if you don't have exposure to Africa, then that will even give you the diversification solution.
Yeah.
And maybe to make it a lot more impactful, let's say if you are an investor or a Pan-African investor or a diaspora, if you put all these major benefits aside, the key one and the most important is the investment you make goes down to make an impact. Let me give a very simple example. My company is arranger for a bond program for a financial institution.
Okay.
And they deploy small loans through mobile telephony, what we
Okay.
call locally Momo.
Okay.
And I this is a personal impact story I experienced.
Okay.
Just driving along the countryside, I was interacting with the lady selling in the market, and she told me that once she takes her Momo loan
Yeah.
during the peak season, she's able to make good sales, save to pay her children fees, and even contribute to building of their house, which she's doing together with her partner,
Okay.
her and her grown kids.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
That's
upon
real impact.
this
Isn't
is
it?
real impact because we put in money, investors get paid. But at the end of the day, because we were able to channel the resources not into consumption but into bankable projects,
Yeah.
it is giving us priceless return,
Yeah.
which is the impact.
Yeah, yeah. So this is it to diasporans. You've heard it from the right sources. African financial markets do give you a very good, competitive, even better
Right.
returns than some of the things available in the Western world. The main thing is we have to be proactive in looking at these things, in looking for them, and in actually investing in them. And you've also heard how some of these investments directly impact the market woman, the farmer, because these are some of the impact it's generating, putting it into loans for small scale businesses, self-employed people, and that is what Africa needs, because African traditional workforce, most of it is self-employed.
Sure.
So that is what we need, and that's real impact. So what are the options available to diasporans in terms of the kinds of financial assets they can actually invest in?
Okay, so I'll take it from a two-way point. What I refer to as the regular public markets.
Okay.
And these are what your equities, your fixed income. Fixed income can be further broken down into the sovereign, the ones issued by government, and the corporate, the one issued by companies. Then there are other financial products. You can have ETFs that will give you exposure to even commodities and all those ones.
So just for the sake of everybody listening, what is ETFs?
ETF is exchange traded funds. Again, it may sound a bit technical. Let me break it down. For instance, let's say gold. Everybody has spoken about gold this year.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
If you want to invest in gold, you may buy the ore, probably invest in refining it, or even take it in its raw state. If you take it to your house,
Yeah.
you have an added responsibility of protecting it in addition to your life.
Exactly, yeah.
And if you want to sell it, you have the tax or the risk of going to get somebody at that instant who wants
Ready.
gold in that state to buy.
Yeah.
But the ETF, say a gold ETF, is a financial asset that has been created on the back of this gold.
Okay.
So when you buy it, you are holding the financial asset, but it's powered by the gold.
Yes.
So when you want to sell, it's on the market. When you buy it, you don't need to put enhanced security in your house.
Yeah.
It's held in custody in the stock market, and you're able. And the good thing is, it is driven by the performance of the underlying asset. And for somebody in the diaspora, even locally,
Yeah.
if you do such an investment, what it means is you are benefiting from the return of the gold, and you've been hedged against one major challenge with our market, which is foreign currency disparity.
Okay.
Gold is almost all the time it's priced in USD, so you can have that as well.
Yeah. And the value of it relatively in recent years has been relatively stable and good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So those are the points with the ETF included, what you get from the direct or the public market.
Okay.
Then the other key one, which I'm sure is a lot more relevant to this contest, is what I call the direct or private investments. So for instance, if Lodi, you have a farm and you are producing maybe 100-acre soya
Okay, yeah.
plantation, and you have offtake guys and all that. And if I am an investor, I can invest directly into your business. By so doing, I'm a diaspora, but I am investing in agribusiness and through the value chain, we'll get our return and we'll create impact. The same way, if somebody is running a business in the healthcare value chain,
Yeah.
and they get these private investments, these are also ways of contributing or making investments. So just to sum it up, you would have your regular or the very formal way, which is through maybe raising equity, buying shares, buying bonds, buying those ETFs and all other ones, or you do it directly with the right advice and guidance. I have to be intentional about this because we may have stories of people saying, "Oh, we brought this and all that." I want to encourage people that maybe those were bad experiences, but anytime you are undertaking such a venture, it's an investment. So give it the extra commitment of getting the right people to guide you and advise you, and you wouldn't regret taking such a step.
So just so I understand the point you're making, is this other direct investment into other people's businesses, be it in agric and its value chain or in any other sector, that is not part of the work you guys do. Is that right?
Not directly.
Not direct.
Not directly.
But you are saying, what you're saying
Those
there
are
is
options.
you are giving people options and you are actually encouraging people.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
Exactly.
So I just wanted to clarify that bit because they might think you do.
No.
You do offer that, and you start getting questions on that. So, in your opinion, why should diasporans invest in the African financial markets instead of the Western financial markets? I mean, you've said a bit about the returns.
Sure.
But in your view, what are the main?
So the other key thing is Africa, and it's not just a cliche. If you do a detailed analysis of the global demographics, you see a lot of shifts that are in favor of Africa. Africa is easily going to grow into 2.5 billion population in just about 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
And this is a market. The other thing is, this is where the resources are.
Yeah.
The world is growing. People are becoming a lot more aware of their own opportunities. So if the resources are in here and you are investing here, it means you are not going through an elongated route. You are getting closer to where the resources are, and then even human capital. Again, these are the shifts in the global demographics that are in favor of Africa.
Yeah.
Africa has a quite younger generation, and they are not your African of, say, half a century ago.
Okay.
These are tech savvy people, well educated, obviously even better than the average person in the developed world. So all these things are great things that give the assurance that if you are taking investment positions in Africa as somebody from the diaspora, then the returns may even surpass your expectation.
Yeah. So we are looking at a situation where the returns that you've already talked about can only get better for African markets because we are looking at the potential of a bigger market within Africa, even from local Africans, and also a bigger labor force, which all drives, I suppose,
younger and
younger. Exactly. And the bigger market is not to be underestimated because that bigger market is what then gives you your demand, and therefore demand and supply. The returns go up.
I always tell people that iPhone became strong because of their core market. They started something that was more like we are doing it for Americans. But today it's gone beyond them.
Yes.
And they started with a population of about 200 million or 100 million, even iPhone users.
Okay.
But today it's gone beyond that,
Yeah.
and it's a strong market.
Yeah.
So if you have numbers in billions, then the prospects are a lot more than you can imagine.
Absolutely. So let's look at some of the major risks diasporan investors need to know about investing in the African financial markets.
Sure. So one major risk, I touched on it on another question, but it's still relevant. One major risk is liquidity.
Okay.
Converting your investment into cash when you need them. But then this has been a risk with our market from time immemorial, but the risk keeps reducing with time.
Okay.
So the liquidity risk of, say, 5 years ago is not the same as it is now.
Okay.
Because the market is
growing.
The other thing is FX disparity. So somebody sits in London, sends in some pound to do an investment in Ghana.
Yeah.
Typically, African markets have challenges with our currency for the obvious reasons, because globally we buy everything with hard currency.
Yeah.
And because of that, so that is also one major risk. Then there are bits about the quality of data.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but the level of the quality of data in our market and disclosure is cannot be compared to what you have in the developed market.
Yeah.
Again, similar to the liquidity scenario I gave, this same risk has been there all this while.
Yeah.
But the level of that risk 10 years, 5 years ago is not as it is today.
Yeah.
And is even going to become slimmer and lower because of the way technology is evolving.
Okay. So this is the main thing is, as more of us also invest in our financial markets, we only help it make it better.
Great.
And this is the challenge. We have to invest in our financial markets.
Exactly.
If we want anything better, we have to invest ourselves. And the more of us who invest, then the market too gets better. So though we've talked about the risks, it's just for everybody to be aware, but it's not to say because of those risks, then don't invest. It's rather because of that, do invest. There's a bright future, but we have to invest in it so that we can benefit from all of that as well. So for the third session, I want us to look at the impact that diaspora capital can have in African financial markets, especially in relation to development. What impact, if a lot more of us do invest in the African financial market, what does that mean? Does it do nothing, or what does it actually mean when it comes to development?
Okay. That's another interesting one. I think this should be my favorite question in this session. So let's work with some numbers. You have about 100 billion USD as diaspora remittance into Africa. That's 100.
Okay.
You know, for every African economy, the acronym FDI is very key. That's foreign direct investment.
Yes.
That is less than 50 billion.
Yeah.
Then there's also the aid that comes from other foreign countries. That is also below
development.
Exactly. That's also below 50 billion.
Yeah,
if you put these together, they don't match the remittance that come.
Yeah.
But I think historically, these remittances are directed towards consumption, which have solved problems and made impacts.
Yeah.
However, let's think about it this way. If the diasporans are going to invest in Africa, it means the basic rule in life is you even invest a lot more than you consume.
Yes.
But let's suppose they are investing just about how much they consume. So let's suppose there's another 100 billion directed into Africa for investment.
Yeah.
This has the potential to grow in multiple folds such that there wouldn't be the responsibility of bringing in remittances to support consumption. How do I mean? If the aspirants are directing their remittance into investments, what they are doing is they are creating that patient capital.
Yeah.
That will go to finance agric.
Yeah.
That will go to finance healthcare. That will go to finance SMEs.
Yeah.
Because the SMEs our economies are there's overload of data. Our economies are dominated by SMEs.
Yeah.
Almost 90, in some instances close to 100%. So if these investments are directed there, this is the impact.
Yeah.
They'll create job for the young folk down back home that you are supporting through consumption.
Exactly.
And they'll rather build value
Yeah.
such that you wouldn't need to.
Yeah.
So it's a plea and it's a strong recommendation
Yeah.
for our folks in the diaspora that this is the potential of what we send. And this is what it can do.
Yeah.
And the long-term benefits would give a greater global impact.
Yeah. Nana Adjei, have you read our book? Is that because I'm just sat here smiling, right? And it's like you are just bringing out all like the important things when in the part that we talked about all these foreign direct investment and overseas development assistance. We don't need them. We absolutely do not need them.
Yeah.
We just need to think differently in what we do. And it's great. You send money to help family back at home. But you're absolutely right, because that money just goes to support foreign economies. That's all it's doing. It's such a cycle of bringing in money. Our families use them to buy imported goods and even services, you'd be shocked to know. But a lot of imported goods and especially medical support as well, a lot of which are coming from foreign countries. And we are making their economies better, robbing our own economies, and we are not seeing it. But even people say, oh, we're sending, and some of that money, we had a discussion and somebody said, oh, some of that money we send through remittances is actually for business. And I was like, yes, you are sending it thinking my brother is going to do this business or do that business. Like 90% of the times that business collapses because your brother probably isn't like, he doesn't really know that business that well.
Exactly.
He's not taking the right steps to know that business that well. It might not even be a passion. It's just that somebody has said, oh, this thing, there's money in it, or that thing, there's money in it. And then quickly you go in, you pump all this money and it all goes to nothing.
Yeah.
So we need to be thinking about the money we send home. We need to be putting enough percentage of that money into the Ghanaian economy in the right way.
Sure.
And into investments, into supporting businesses, people who are actually running a business that is making a good return and make it and doing well. So we need to look at how we do that. So no, I was just sat here smiling. And
I'm sure we can have another conversation
about
when
that.
I read the book.
Exactly. I think you should, and then we can have a sit down about the book. It will be really interesting. So what do you think will be the impact if we converted? So that's what we've just talked about. Some of these remittances we send home into investment capital. Historically, what has made it difficult to mobilize diaspora capital?
challenge.
especially within the African financial markets?
Sure. I think the key thing is regulation and trust.
Okay.
And trust not because of maybe the direct person. Let's say if I am in the diaspora and I have a potential business with you, the trust is not just you, but the trust in the entire system.
Yes. Yeah.
And but what has happened over the period is, again, the evolution. So the flow of sending money.
Yeah.
A few years ago, the easiest way to send money was for somebody even in London to walk to a Western Union
Yes.
agent or
Yes.
to
I
send
remember
money
that.
so that the person down to can do same. But today there is technology.
Yeah.
Somebody just by the magic touch point of a mobile phone
Yeah.
can just send money, and the recipient will also not have to
Move an inch.
move an inch and receive it, and the system gets a lot more efficient. So I think it was to do a lot more with trust in the systems
Yeah.
and processes.
Yeah.
And the other key thing is, and it's still there, maybe we are not telling our story. So where there have been success stories, we need to, even if we have to repeat it and sound like broken records,
Yeah.
we have to.
We do.
Because you never know who will be learning for the first time that, oh, so you can potentially do this in Africa.
Yes.
Or you can potentially do this back home.
Yes.
So yes, the system, and I think it's improved, telling of the story. Because if there's that gap of information, then it's the same issue. If people are not aware that there's this level of capacity, even with the human capital, that's people can, when it comes to real estate, there's this technology down here in Africa, or there is this capacity down here, then people may not be motivated to mobilize. So again, not to sound like a campaigner, I think all these challenges,
Nana Adjei, we
key.
all have to be campaigners where we are. I believe that. I believe where Africa is, all of us of African heritage, it is a responsibility and a duty to be campaigners, because we need a change of mindset in the way we all think. Even those of us who've been abroad, who are in the West, we need a shift in our mindset, because sometimes we don't realize the level through the indoctrination and the propaganda where we are in terms of how we even think and process information. So we all need a shift. But also, is like you're saying, is the knowledge, is us talking about all these things available and letting people think, oh, why am I not actually like investing in the African financial markets, because I'm investing so much in all these other financial markets abroad? Why am I not thinking of actually putting some of that money in the African financial market? So this is a way of getting that, that talk going on, getting that sort of thinking going on, and for us to keep moving ahead. So to round everything up, I'd like you to tell us a bit more about Blackstar and how Blackstar can help facilitate diaspora investment into the African financial markets.
Thanks for this opportunity, Lottie. So Blackstar is a full-service investment banking group. And like I mentioned earlier on, we have an asset management subsidiary, and we have a brokerage subsidiary. I always say that when you come to us, we don't have fixed products and services for you, but what we have is solutions.
Okay.
And our solutions are delivered across global markets, assets and wealth, management as well as investment banking. So with global markets, our approach to it is the markets, regardless of the product or the geographical location, is one.
Okay.
So if you are sitting in Ghana or if you are in the diaspora and you are interested in, say, buying some MTN stocks because you want to take a portion of telecommunication, we can do that for you.
Okay.
What makes it so interesting is we have a reverse of the return. So if you are in the diaspora and you are even in Ghana and you feel like, you know what, we are investing a lot in, we are spending a lot, and it's ending up in Apple, Google, and all that.
Exactly. Yes.
We are domiciled here, but we are able to buy these assets for you from Ghana.
Okay.
And we are able to sell for you when you need to do these things. So on our global market front, that's what we have been doing.
Okay. So you mean you actually are able to sell Western stocks such as
Exactly.
Okay. Apple shares and all those things.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we even have a fund that is also biased towards these
Specific.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then the other bit is when it comes to wealth management and planning, we have a full bouquet of solutions. And again, that's why we refer to call it solutions, because your financial capacity will be different from mine.
Okay.
Your level of financial flows may be different from mine.
Yeah.
Maybe you get paid or you get inflows every other day. I may get mine every month.
Okay.
The amount that comes in, and we have varying objectives.
Yeah.
So around this, the wealth and asset management team are able to have a bespoke one for you.
Okay.
It is after getting to understand your circumstance that we will be able to tell you that this product or service can take up this amount of yours, and this can take the amount of yours. Then the other side of the business, which is the investment banking, which is purely about raising and issuing of capital. So if you're a corporate, or even if you are a sovereign like Republic of Ghana,
Yeah.
and we are part of the advisory team that raises money for government of Ghana
Okay.
over the last 5 years.
Okay.
And we also do same for corporate clients. So if you want to raise money and all that, if you need advice, or if you want to acquire a business, so if let's say a group of diasporans have come together, maybe they are medical people, they want to acquire a hospital down here,
Okay.
we will serve as your local boots on ground,
Okay.
give you the necessary guidance where it is that it needs a different set of skill. We'll refer you to
The
maybe
right-
our local partners, so they help you out. So on that side too, we are able to provide advice.
Okay.
So in short, we are more like the bridge if you want to invest
Okay.
in the African markets.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we can let you have a seamless experience of taking a part in the African financial market.
Okay. So just to bring out some of what you've said, you actually are able to raise money for like countries, for
Yes.
governments, for
Yes.
foreign sovereign governments. So you can raise money for Ghana, for
Any other
any other African country. So that is quite good to note. Before we finish, I'd like you to actually specifically talk about that, like normal diasporans, individual diasporans, if they are they want to invest. They want to invest in the African financial markets, but they're looking to invest in domestic things that have domestic impact, because I know some of our people are more specific that way. But as an individual, what are some of the things? Are they able to just maybe get some of your things like online on their phones?
Yes. So we've also made it so much seamless. So there's what we call the Blackstar app.
Okay.
And you can have it through your Play Store or your Apple Store.
Yeah.
And on that platform, there's something we do unique at Blackstar. We are commercially oriented.
Okay.
However, we also prioritize clients' convenience.
Okay.
So on our app, we have funds. We have mutual funds in Blackstar.
Okay.
But what we have done that our competitors would not even consider doing is on our app, you'll be able to buy even other funds that are not our funds.
I see. Yes.
Because we do that not because we want them to make more money than we do, but we want to prioritize a client's convenience. So that client will not have to move from app to app.
Okay.
Whereas it's just click of button
Yeah.
and what they want to do is done. And again, the onboarding is quite seamless.
Okay.
Through the magical touch point of a phone,
Yeah.
you can be in the diaspora individual with your small units that you want to start. You just go through the basic KYC units.
Okay.
Then your onboarding is on its way.
Yeah.
Once you're done, execution is also through that same thing. You click the button,
Yeah.
whether you want to buy, sell,
Yeah.
or send instruction.
Okay.
Whilst on it, the experience is not just buying it. We have powered our app with a lot of insights and analytics such that you'll be able to gauge your return.
Okay.
You'll be able to know the breakdown of your investments, where your monies are exposed to and all that. So even without an expert, we are able to give you a proper review of your investment for you to even make your own decisions that I want to reduce my exposure to, say, this company and increase to these ones.
Okay.
So the app, which is the Blackstar app, is the absolute solution to this quest.
Okay. So that's it for today. Thank you so much to Nana Adjei for a very insightful conversation. And if you need to speak to Blackstar, if you need to reach out, just get in touch with us and we will try and sort out something for you to speak to them. And thanks so much to you, our cherished viewers and listeners. Thanks for tuning in. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share to support us in the impactful work we are trying to do. And don't also forget to grab yourself a copy of our book, The Great Return, on Amazon. And if you're thinking of doing business or investing in Ghana, then get in touch. Visit our website, tgrafrica.com, where you can book a consultation for business advice, guidance, and many, many more. And where you can also get to know a lot of all the other great stuff we're doing and how you can get involved. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.